Boston, get ready. The summer's heating up on Wrestling Insiders. Big episodes, big guests. Look for brand new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern with Wrestling Insiders. Atlas, your house, with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Then it's Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty, taking over the Thursday night slot to kick off SummerSlam weekend. Speaking of SummerSlam, Marty Jannetty is back in studio taping not 1 but 2 days of episodes, including a SummerSlam afternoon in-person meet and greet, and later a watch-along live stream during WWE's biggest party of the summer. We'll take your questions, talk wrestling, sign autographs, record Cameo-style personal videos, and more. Help keep professional wrestling legends working. Support these great programs and online autograph sessions you can watch in our archives again and again. Visit BostonWrestling.com and our social media platforms for complete information.
(1986, 1987), you were involved with a big feud with Hogan and had a big house show run.
Yeah.
What was that time in your career like?
Oh, it was great, and I made just a little bit of money, and then it always just going down. Even though the houses staying the same, and everywhere we went was sold out. And I remember Hogan telling me one time, he said, "Brother, you putting asses on the seat." No, he said, "We putting asses on the seat." He said, "I hope you're getting your money." He said, "Because I'm getting mine." He could get his.
Right.
But I couldn't get mine. I spoke to Vince a few times, but it was, Vince always was real nice the way he would, turn you off. And so he told me, said, "James, you look at what you're making in this year's time, so that's why I think you're doing real well." But I wasn't.
What kind of a payday would you get in the main event slot in a house show with Hogan?
Excuse me. When I started off, I was getting like 5-6 grand, and that was in a house show like Madison Square Garden. I'd probably make like 5 grand, and then I'd go on down to the Spectrum, pick up about 4 grand. I mean, that was all right.
Right.
I could live with that. And then I would go to Washington, and I would probably pick up about from 2 to 3 grand, and that's 3 runs there with Hogan.
Yeah.
And so the rest of the time I'm with some of the lower guys, undercard guys, and you just make $200 or $300 with them. So you have a pretty good week, but if they had continued, I'd have still been there. But that just, it got on down to, I remember when it dropped down, I made over $12,000 one week. Next week, $10,000. Houses still the same, working with the same guy. Dropped down to $7,000. $5,000, $3,000, $2,500, $15,000.
Really?
And
you were working 7 days a week at that point.
7 days a week, yeah.
And paying for your own rent-a-car and hotel.
Rent-a-car, hotel, food, yeah. And I just got where I couldn't make it. I stayed long as I could. And they just seemed to wasn't gonna pay, so I walked out again.
Probably made you wonder if you were making 5 grand, 6 grand on some of the bigger house shows. What do you think Hogan was getting? You know?
Oh yeah, I know. But if they just had paid me decent doing my runs, it wouldn't have mattered what Hogan made, as long as I was comfortable.
As long as you were taking care of him, what you found to be a fair way.
Yeah, but I just wasn't.
Let's go back to WrestleMania 3 in front of 93,000 people at the Pontiac Silverdome. You were headlining the house shows with Hogan and others, as we had mentioned, but you weren't on the card.
Wasn't even on the card.
What was that all about?
I don't know. Vince told me, he called me up, because I asked him, I said, "Vince," I said, "So why I'm not on the card?" He said, "Don't worry, so we got plans for you. So you just be there, so you're going to get a little payoff too."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you were actually at the building?
Yeah, I was at the building. And he said I would get a little payoff, and it was a little.
Well, because obviously you helped build the show up in different aspects of television and whatnot.
Yeah.
So at least you got a little taste of the pie, but just not a heck of a lot unless you actually had a match.
Right.
That's strange because they usually, especially in the earlier WrestleManias, they were bigger cards where they'd try and find a spot for just about everybody. And I, just as a kid watching it, whenever, geez, was Kamala. He just, a couple months ago at the Boston Garden, was in the main event against Hogan, and now he's not even on this show.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of the undercard guys on the show.
Right.
So you were there, but they just didn't have anything special for you for the show.
Yeah, that's it.
Remember, right
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.